Hey, what's up, my friends? Welcome back to another video here at Yoga for Dudes. We got a great one for you today, a classic one. The downward facing dog. The dog which faceth downward. This is a big one. I mean, this is one of those poses, man. I mean, this is it. This is yoga right here. You could do just this pose and all kinds of stuff is gonna come up for you. It's a full body, all over challenger of a pose for all of us, okay? Don't let anybody fool you. Now listen, this is one of those poses where people go, man, I'm not flexible. I can't do that. I can't touch my toes. Their knees are bent. Their heels are flying up off the floor, right? They're super tight in the shoulders, so they can't get their torso back. That's okay. I don't care. As long as you can kind of get close, and I'm going to show you some modifications, and you keep working on it, you'll get there. You'll get to whatever your expression, your form of downward dog looks like. But it is an important one because it will come up in just about every single yoga class you take. Even in my restorative classes, which are traditionally super chill, you're using a bolster, you're using a lot of props. I might throw in a down dog or two, again, because it's a great overall full body stretch and just a nice way to stretch it all out. So, let's take a look at downward facing dog. All right, before we jump into downward facing dog, don't forget to head over to yogafordudes.com, sign up for the mailing list so you can get our free 20 beginning poses for dudes guide delivered to you in your email box. What could be better, man? I don't know. But anyway, I'm illustrating all of those poses in this playlist for you so that you also have a visual reference and you can check them out. All right, downward facing dog. As I said, I don't care if your heels touch the ground. I don't care if your shoulders or your torso doesn't go really far back and you get a lot of big stretch. I just care that you do it, you can approach it. And then if you go to someone's class, you know already how to build the foundation of a down dog and to keep working on it and to feel confident in doing it in said class or at home for yourself, okay? So here we go. Downward facing dog. I'm gonna teach you a nice, easy way to get into it. You can start throwing the legs back and do your thing to get there, but this is how I do it. All right. So my hands are shoulder width apart. My shoulders are stacked over my wrists. I am extending out of the shoulders, pressing into the mat. My fingers are spread nice and wide, and most importantly, in terms of my hands, two things. Number one, they are turned out slightly, right? Meaning that I'm not rotating my hands in, but they're actually turned out just a bit. Okay? And I'm pressing evenly into all 10 fingers and both palms. In particular, I am pressing in between or into that fleshy part right there between your thumb and forefinger. All right, I'm pressing down. People tend to get a little sloppy slops in their down dog. And again, they start bending their elbows. That part of your palm starts to come up and you put a lot of pressure on the outer part of your wrist. It leads to injuries. We don't want any injuries, man. We want you to take care of yourself. All right, so pressing into those palms. Knees are about 2 fist widths apart. Start on the tops of your feet. Now you're gonna walk both knees back about 6 inches. You're going to tuck your toes under. You're going to take a deep breath in and begin to lift your knees up off the ground. And then you're going to exhale. Keep the knees bent. Straighten the shoulders and extend back. All right? Right there. Now that is a totally fine downward facing dog. There ain't nothing wrong with this down doggy. Okay? I'm extending out of the shoulders. I'm pressing down into my hands. Now notice this. As we start getting lazy, our head starts to come forward over here. If you notice that, take a deep breath in and then exhale. Press it back. Extend out of the shoulders. And don't allow your shoulders to collapse down. See if you can keep your arms straight and rotate your shoulders in to out. And then you can slowly begin to release your heels toward the floor. Deep breaths. So as I press my shoulders away or press my torso back toward my thighs, right? I'm pressing my torso back toward my thighs. The backs of my knees can begin to slowly press to the wall behind me, allowing my heels to come down to wherever they're going to come down. It is what it is. As I exhale, I'm pulling my belly button up into my spine, and I'm engaging my thighs. Deep breaths here. As I said in the last couple of videos, I'm trying to shoot a bunch of videos at once today so I can get these done for you. And it's toasty in this room. I got some new lights. I got some cool new lights to use. And it's heating up pretty good in this barn. So anyway, downward facing dog. Cool. Now, if you cannot extend your heels toward the floor, that's fine. And if you want to, you can stay in that bent knee downward facing dog right here. Just keep pressing the mat away. You're still getting something out of this down dog. Trust me. Just keep your arms strong. And as you inhale, lift the tailbone. Exhale, press back. Or release the heels wherever you are. Okay. Now, oh yeah, here comes the big sweat. Man. Now, one thing you could do if you want a great little sequence, start out in child's pose. Like if you just did this for 10, 15 minutes a day for a couple of weeks, you would feel awesome and you would see a lot of improvement, excuse me, within your body and whatnot. So start out in child's pose, forehead to the floor, deep breaths here. Okay. Then when you're ready, you're going to inhale, press yourself up, shoulders over the wrists, hips above the knees, walk your knees back 6 inches, tuck the toes under. Inhale, lift up, exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Okay. Take 5 or so deep breaths in a good solid downward facing dog. And when you're ready, just exhale deeply, bring the knees all the way down, and press back into child's pose again. That's it, man. Okay? And just go back and forth. 5 deep breaths in child's pose, 5 deep breaths in down dog. Great little sequence, great little workout, and you will begin to really work on the foundations. There's a drop off the forehead. You'll begin to really work on your foundation of downward facing dog. So there you go, downward facing dog. Again, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, checking out these videos. Hope you're getting something out of it. If nothing else, you're being entertained by this big guy sweating all over the place. Who doesn't want to see that? I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in.